Hello, thank you for joining me today. I'm here to define something called the Nurtured Heart Approach. The Nurtured Heart Approach is a set of principles and practices devised by a man called Howard Glasser, who's a child psychotherapist. Originally, he used the approach with children who had really challenging and difficult behaviours, and he absolutely transformed lives. It was really successful and still is really successful in doing that. But then he kind of noticed that he himself would revert very quickly to negative ways of seeing life and in negative ways of being in relationships. So he felt like he actually needed to roll out the whole program to everybody. So it's a way of transforming lives into a much more positive way of being. The Nurtured Heart approach is based on 3 very basic stands, which are absolutely no, absolutely yes, and absolutely clear. The absolutely no is based on the idea that we are really very attuned to noticing, recognising and jumping in when things are going wrong, when poor choices are being made, when things are negative, especially with children. And it's a way of turning that whole triangle, as it were, that whole thing of the negative being the sort of big base of everything, on its head, and thinking that we want to see and recognise the positive. So the absolutely no stand is the absolute that we don't energise negativity. We don't engage with it, we don't connect with it, we don't take it on. So when somebody is being negative or a child is being negative, you're not there to actually take on that energy. And that's not actually about ignoring, because that's being there, but not taking in the energy. Because not ignoring can actually cause children to ramp up, or other people to ramp up their energy and negative energy, because we're wanting to make that connection. So if your connections are based on negativity, that's what you want. So you're trying to turn that around. So that's the absolutely no stand. The absolutely yes stand is a stand that you are going to notice anything that's going right, anything that's a good choice, anything that's positive. And you're really going to say it out loud. You're going to notice that somebody's doing something that you want them to do, that they should be doing, that is a great thing. Recognising even the smallest things. So it could be that you could say to a child who's maybe having trouble sharing, but at some point they give that toy to somebody else, or they share with somebody else. So you say, oh, well, you shared that toy. I noticed that you shared that toy, even though it was difficult for you. And that shows me that you can share and that you care about other people. So it's those kind of things. So it's really positive. And there are lots of ways of saying that, and that's all in the Nurtured Heart approach. And there's lots of formats for doing that. So you can learn those and take those in and use them as much as possible. And it's basically just a way of being positive and noticing the positives. And it's a way of doing that in your internal dialogue as well. So to not give energy to the negative and really focus on all the great things about yourself, and notice those great things about yourself, and notice them in personal relationships a lot as well too, because we often don't say it. And the third stand is absolutely clear. Now this stand is about your boundaries, being flexible but firm about these boundaries and knowing where they lie. So I think it seems so obvious, but we're not always clear about where a boundary is and what it should be, and then be clear about the consequences. Now, consequences shouldn't really be punitive, but they can be about withdrawing that connection to the negative. So you can think about something called maybe a reset. And a reset in the Nurtured Heart approach means that you are not connecting and engaging with the negative. You're pausing, giving time to yourself and time maybe for the other person to reconnect to their positivity as well. So you're stepping back, taking a breath, and then using that energy. So it's quite a good way to be. So you can use the energy that's of the negative thing and transform that into a positive feeling, noticing all the greatness in yourself, and then wait for the other person to reset themselves and come out of the negativity. It's really good for children to learn how to do this as well. So that basically is the Nurtured Heart approach and the principles of the Nurtured Heart approach. So thank you for listening, and I would highly recommend the course that I'm doing, which is a distance learning course. If you need to find out more, then just ask. Thank you.